Tonight, we are going to witness the most anticipated match in the history of
exposing extrajudicial targeting. In the red corner, weighing in at, it's Ella, Firecracker 3. In the blue corner, weighing a combined, it's Ramola D and baiting Barbara Hartwell. This contest is one-sided, with Barbara in particular, along with Ramola, defaming and having a go at Ella. Here are a few things that Barbara Hartwell has said about Ella. That she wears clown's makeup, is ignorant as the day is long, she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, to put it mildly, and recognised her as a fraud from day one. Kapow! Pow! Pow! Oh, that is low. The personal attacks by Barbara on Ella's appearance and supposed lack of intellect are plain mean. Before becoming one of the queens of the so-called TI community, Ella has said she used to work in advertising and before that was a model, though she regretted being a model. But Ella still has uploaded one image, must have been from her modelling days, where she looks like a screen goddess. You can see that here. Hubba hubba! Many, if not the majority of people, will upload images of themselves from possibly a few years ago. They'd certainly try to present themselves looking their best. And I'm no stranger to that because I recently signed up with Tinder and used this photo. More intriguing is where Barbara says that Ella has been placed in our midst. The inference being that Ella is a disinformation agent. It might be a good idea if Ella does try to address the names mentioned by Barbara Hartwell, which include Midge Mathis, Richard Lighthouse and Ken Adachi. And maybe Ella can also address the funding for these, it must be said, expensive billboards. So there are a few things for Ella to answer, and maybe she will. If she doesn't, that could be a problem, but we'll have to see. Yes, they are promoting the Freedom for Targeted Individuals website, but any visitor doesn't have to stay there, do they? They can have a look around and probe a bit more into the so-called, again, gang stalking program. So I don't see Ramola and Barbara or anyone on that side trying to do much other than via podcasts to expose these illegal operations. I think the adverts are fine. Maybe next time, if they are going to do more adverts, they will be more inclusive because many black people and Asian people are also obviously being targeted. So a white female with bright blue eyes, perhaps not such a good idea to use. But other than that, I'm happy to see large billboards trying to expose these illegal operations. So I'm generally very happy with the billboards. They will need tweaking next time round if there will be more around next year. And I'm also very happy about the rallies around the world trying to expose these extrajudicial operations. Some of those people that are involved in the American rallies are Matthew Aaron, I like him, and Renata, I really like her. But there's a person that plays a prominent role in filming these and uploading videos, and she goes by the name of Meegs B, M-E-E-G-S-B. I like her, she's engaging and she's empathetic. But she has stated she's not a target of these operations, and more worrying, she is a flat earther. And if there's one thing we don't need, it's anyone using that information against us, to discredit us. So to have somebody having such a prominent role who is a flat earther can't be good for the TI movement. And any genuine target of this would agree. I should say that I tune into both ladies. I like watching some of Ella's videos, especially when she's interviewing various people, although I'm not always on the same page as her interviewees. And I'm not so keen on the calls to her from so-called targets. And the same with Ramola. I will tune in to certain guests, not so happy with the others. Ramola, up till probably about a year ago, used to run a regular podcast with 4 intelligent and articulate ladies: Karen Stewart, Millicent Black, Catherine Horton, and of course Ramola. Out of the 4, can you spot the odd one out? Maybe this will help. How the fuck is wearing a tinfoil hat going to help our cause? Catherine also used to mention that she'd been implanted with chips all over her body, including a number in her vagina, and that when she was doing some of these podcasts, they were attacking her there. Catherine, unfortunately, is my idea of a disinformation agent. The Techno Crime Fighters Forum came to an end not because of Catherine's penchant for wearing tinfoil hats and surrounding herself with tin foil, but she used to advocate violence in some of the podcasts, and Ramola, etc., decided she had to go. So soon after, Catherine was ejected from the forum and the forum was terminated. Catherine Horton is now one of the board members of the targetedjustice.com website, a website that Barbara Hartwell is very suspicious of. You'll have to visit it and make your own mind up and read what Barbara has said about it and some of those members. One last thing before I end this video, and that is something that Ella has apparently said about some of her callers, and that something is that they have mental illness. The figure quoted is around 5% of those callers having mental illness, and I just think that's an honest comment, to be honest. I'm sure some people with mental illness, hearing about the technologies that could be in use, i.e. voice to skull, V2K, whatever you want to call it, latch on to the community. So again, I don't really see a problem with her saying that, and I think that was very honest of her. You've got to remember that the psychiatric establishment are labelling all of us as having some mental illness. The psychiatric establishment. And I have cops, local cops, doing much the same, although they're not qualified to make such a diagnosis. They are deliberately gaslighting my evidence, and they are making outrageous claims that apparently pigeons and vehicles are speaking to me, so we know their agenda. So Ella, I have no problem with her making statements about a small percentage of her callers. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this quite long video for me. Any comments, leave them. Thank you. I almost forgot, and that is to declare a winner. So the winner is all genuine targets of the organised stalking, surveillance and harassment programme. The infighting from prominent podcasters just proves that, really.